Hi, I'm Joshua Ryan with FandomWire. How are you guys?
Hi, good. How are you?
Thanks. Lovely to see
Good,
you.
thank you. So I had a chance to watch the movie just last night, and it was a cool experience because I had just finished playing the remastered Silent Hill 2 game, which, Evie, I know you played Laura in that, and then you reprise your role for this. What was it like reprising that role, and how did you get cast into the process?
It was great. It was really fun. She's such a cool character and a character who I felt very connected to. She was one of the first characters I ever played. I was very little when I did the video game, so it was great to
Mhm.
step back into that character through Christophe Gans, who is our wonderful director for the movie, through his sort of vision for this film. It was great to do that, and I think it's nice that in this movie we get to see a little bit more about how Silent Hill has affected her. And I think that highlights the darkness of the world even further because we get to see a little bit how it's sort of tainted her light.
Did you notice any distinct changes between the character from one media to the other?
I'd say it's definitely the movie is a very faithful adaptation of the video game. I'd say the main thing is just maybe a slightly different perspective because, of course, it was from Christoph's vision of the world. And it was always amazing because on set he'd have all of his storyboards and they were so detailed and so intricate. That was really helpful to envision the scenes.
Awesome. And Hannah, how did you come to be involved? And were you familiar with the games? I'm sure you were at least familiar. Had you played them? Did you have any involvement with the games prior?
I saw the first Silent Hill film in theaters when I was 15 or 16.
Hmm.
Terrified by it. Some of those images were burned into my brain. So, how I became involved. I got an audition, and as soon as I saw Silent Hill, I just got this feeling like it just kind of brought me right back to that age. And seeing that Christoph was directing this movie was really exciting. So I put myself on tape, and then I had a meeting with Christoph about a week later, and he was talking to me like I had the part, and that's when he revealed that
Hmm.
I'd be playing multiple characters, and it kind of blew my mind. And then 2 weeks later, I got the call, and 3 months later, I was in Serbia filming this crazy, wonderful project.
I also saw the first Silent Hill in theaters back in the day.
Good.
Um, yeah, it's quite an experience because it's such a dark and dreary and like psychological world that it builds. Hannah, were there any parts of the movie that you struggled getting into such a kind of dark headspace or living in this world that they create?
Yeah, I think I mean I was prepared going in that it was going to be a really challenging place to be. But I think when you're in a world that is so deep and dark, it leaves room for a lot of levity on set. So you try to,
Hmm.
you're laughing and you're joking, and then when it's time to really, dig in and go deep, I was able to do that. But there were definitely days when I was playing certain characters that I really had to just kind of focus in and go for it and not think about it too much, and then just find a way to step out of that when that day was done. So I wasn't taking any of it home with me.
So outside of having seen the first movie in theaters, had you played any of the games or particularly Silent Hill 2, which this is based on?
I hadn't played the games. I actually didn't realize that the first film was based on a game.
Oh, okay.
I was auditioning. I watched some gameplay, and I honestly
Hmm.
found it so creepy and disturbing that I had to turn it off. It's fascinating to watch. I'm not a gamer myself. I'm really, like when you're playing video games with a controller and regular people are using their thumbs,
Right.
I'm the one who's like trying to move the controller like this.
Uh-huh.
I'm terrible at it. It's just not a skill that I have. So I haven't played it yet, but I'm curious to try at some point.
Don't worry. In
Okay.
video games, I'm normally dead in the first 2 minutes. I'm pretty bad.
Yeah, it does
Oh,
make
I
me.
died a lot playing Silent Hill 2. It's a difficult game and it's terrifying. Um, Evie, a lot of young actors get their start in horror. You have, Johnny Depp, Kevin Bacon, Jamie Lee Curtis. Why do you think horror is such a great launching pad for young actors?
I'd say I think horror mostly is that kind of launch pad because it tends to have that character where she's sort of, or he is sort of innocent, but then has a tone of darkness. And I think that that is something that actors in general, not just young actors, find really a lot of fun in playing and get to pull out a lot of that complexity. And I think that that tends to, especially with a lot of the young actors who I've watched and who I take inspiration from, tends to pull out a lot of depth and a lot of emotional vulnerability, which I think is really great to play, and it's really great to have that scene.
Awesome. A question for both of you. Did you guys have a lot of freedom to interpret the character or bring the character out the way you saw them, or was there a very kind of strict vision that was delivered to you guys?
I think it was a bit of both. I mean, Christoph had a really clear vision from the beginning, and he's such a fan of the game. So it was obviously
Hmm.
going along with what he saw, and also collaborating with the hair and makeup team and the costume department, and collaborating in that way. But when it came to the emotional life of the characters, yeah, we had a lot of. I felt like I had a lot of freedom to bring my own spin to it.
Now, it's a very, unrealistic kind of distorted world that we're living in. I'm curious, what was it like the actual like filming process, CGI compared to on set? Like, how realistic was the world that they built for you? How involved was it?
A lot of it was real. I mean, a lot of the sets, it was a great set
Hmm.
design team. A lot of the sets were real. And of course, that's so helpful as an actor to be immersed in that world and to really feel connected to that space and the universe of Silent Hill.
What about like the monsters? How did they bring the monsters to life? Because these are some really terrifying things. So like when you're on set, what are you interacting with? I'm just kind of curious.
Real, it's practical. It's
Oh my
dancers
gosh.
playing a lot of the, like the armless creature is this hilarious, gorgeous woman from Italy named Julia. Laughing and dancing around as the armless. So we're really seeing it right in front of us. Same with the nurses. It was an entire group of dancers kind of coming at you in this really aggressive, scary way. So yeah, they did an amazing job at bringing all of this to life in real time for us.
I imagine that has to be very beneficial to like to for your performance to see something that actually looks like the monster that's going to be portrayed on screen to help you, get reach that point of terror.
Yeah,
Always, always.
100%.
She has experience because she did the video game of, acting with a tennis ball. And
Mhm.
I think this is a lot easier when the world is filled out for you.
Are there any plans for a continuation of Silent Hill franchise? Do you guys have any idea?
If there is, I have no idea. I don't
Okay. I imagine you'd
No,
probably
me
be willing
neither.
to come back and reprise your role if the opportunity presents itself.
I think now that it's been a couple years, I might have enough left in the tank to go back and do it all again. Although I don't know, that was a lot. I think we all felt pretty psychologically and emotionally drained by the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
It would
I
be
could
fun.
imagine it
Laura
was
might have grown a
definitely
bit though.
yeah, it's definitely a psychologically draining experience just watching it. So I can't imagine, living through the filming it and kind of repeatedly experiencing that day after day. But it was a great movie. I thought, as a fan of the game, it really brought that world to the screen. I thought you guys were both fantastic. Do you guys have anything coming up that I should be on the lookout for?
I have a series on Apple TV that just came out a few months ago called Smoke. It's Dennis Lehane created it. It's based on a true crime podcast and stars Taron Egerton and Journey Smollett. And it was such an incredible experience. And yeah, you should go check it out.